Hi everyone, you are watching the first video on this channel and I plan to dedicate it to the blockchain game Clash of Coins. I will not make long introductions. I know why you are here, to have fun and make money. We live in an amazing time where you can play games not just to kill time but also to earn money. The GameFi or gaming finance industry has been around for a few years. I think that the biggest hype came in 2021 with the game Axie Infinity. By playing a relatively simple game, you could earn substantial rewards. The only condition for starting the game was the need to invest money in it, basically buying yourself a main character to play with. And here is the catch: in-game items are cheap when the game isn't viral yet. But the same items can cost a lot of money once the game becomes popular. The same is with game token. It is cheap while the game playing small amount of players. And it is extremely expensive when the game becomes viral. So with this example, I want to explain the essence. By being an early adopter of a project, you can take the cream off the top. The key concept we must always remember is revaluation. It's a phenomenon when something becomes significantly more valuable in the eyes of the masses than it was before. Whether it's crypto, stocks, or real estate, the principle is always the same. Identify undervalued opportunities, buy and sell when the public revaluates the project. When evaluating a project's potential, we use the concept of a trigger, something that can provoke a revaluation. The more triggers a project has, the more interesting it is. Now let's return to Clash of Coins. Of course, I wouldn't talk about revaluation if I didn't believe in the game potential. My analysis of the project shows clear triggers that could work within a few months. The first thing I want to highlight is that the project doesn't yet have a token. This means the only way to invest is your time. And this is perhaps the sweetest part, because you only need to invest about 4 to 5 minutes a day to play. It's a good, interesting, and simple game. Of course, you can play longer, and that often happens to me because the game is really engaging. Also, playing longer, you can gain additional bonuses, but more on that later. What I've just described isn't exactly a trigger. It's just a fantastic fact that lowers entry barrier to zero. The maximum risk you're taking is 5 minutes a day. During this time, you'll earn points that will be converted into tokens in March 2025 during the token generation event, TGE. These tokens, called OWB, will be the in-game currency. After TGE, earning tokens will most likely become much harder. So basically, you will be the first token holder after TGE. Sounds extremely sweet, isn't it? You literally don't need to buy anything now, and you will be the first person who will receive tokens after TGE, with huge potential to grow. Okay, but where's the guarantee that I'll make good money and not just pennies? That's a great question, and it brings us to the triggers. To trust a project, the first thing you need to understand is who's behind it, what partners they have, and how much they invest in the project. If the team is putting effort and money into it, they will want to recover their investments, make money, and gain reputation. To recoup their efforts financially, they will need to: first, attract additional investments on next rounds. Second, initially sell in-game items. Third, maybe, really maybe, sell part of the OWB tokens they keep for team. To attract large investments into the project, the token market cap needs to be substantial. It must be valuable and capable of undergoing another round of revaluation in the eyes of funds investing significant money. To sell developers' share of the token profitably, it must also be expensive. And to successfully sell in-game items, there needs to be demand for the game, with thousands of players actively engaging with it. In this case, the team is like a whale, and we are the small fish. We need to attach ourselves to the whale and follow its logic. Where the whale earns millions, we can earn our thousands. And right now, we don't even need to risk our money. That is our main advantage. Now, let's look at the team's partnerships. There's a list on the official website. The first thing that personally catches my eye is the partnership with Trust Wallet, and that's huge. Trust Wallet is a juggernaut. It's like Apple in the world of smartphones, Morgan Stanley in banking, or Toyota in the car industry. Trust Wallet has over 4 million followers on Twitter and more than 140 million users. The game is featured in the Discover section of the wallet, and let me tell you, that is not an easy place to land. If you want to be visible to 140 million users, it doesn't come easy and cheap. Trust Wallet also hosted an AMA session with the game developers on Twitter, and I'm confident it will not be the last. This indicates deep integration. I'm sure that projects like Trust Wallet have a meticulous selection process for such deep partnerships. The next partnership I would highlight is with the Base ecosystem. I think this is a very smart choice for the game, because Base is currently, like Binance Smart Chain was in 2020, a project with a bright future destined to host thousands of other projects. The network's liquidity currently exceeds the number of projects built on it, which will allow the game gain a significant share of that liquidity in the early stages of the network's development. Next is MoonPay. I believe this payment system will handle fiat gateways for interacting with the game. It's a good, obvious, and time-tested choice. Oxorio is a firm specializing in high-quality audits of crypto projects. Of course, the game has passed their audit. Privy provides infrastructure for blockchain projects, and Nethermind is involved in development. I believe these two partnerships are related to the game's technical development. V3 Ventures is essentially a venture fund. There's relatively little information about them online, some links to the team's profiles and the projects they have supported before. I think V3 Ventures is a key investor in this project. Finally, we have AX1, formerly known as Alpha Block. What started as a cryptocurrency Telegram channel has evolved into a syndicate that combines a community of venture investors, developers, and highly intelligent individuals. X1 has always stood out for its incredibly precise market analysis and cautious approach to investments. I had the chance to join the syndicate in demo mode for a few days, and I must admit it is a community of exceptionally experienced and talented people. The first public mentions of the game appeared in AX1 Telegram channel, which leads me to believe that its founders are the driving force and brains behind the project. If it's true, then the game is in the right hands. Unfortunately, I did not find any info about the last three partnerships, but I'm sure that everything is okay with them. Also here, I want to touch on the project's return on investment from a reputational perspective. In my view, when you're building such massive projects with such significant partners, especially with a solid background behind you, it's not just about making money, it's also about gaining reputational capital. This is crucial if you plan to stay in the investment field long term. I don't think the people involved in this project would flip a quick profit and let it sink to the bottom. Another strong trigger for me is the token distribution. The community will receive 40% of the total supply. Meanwhile, private investors will get 27%, with a 2-year vesting period from the TGE date, and the team will receive 10% with a 3-year vesting period. To me, this is a well-planned and fair token supply structure that prevents the token from being dumped. The next trigger is the team's activity and feedback, and here everything is simply amazing. The Discord community is very active, the chat is live, and administrators always respond quickly to any questions, even those that have been asked dozens of times before. Occasionally, the developers even host online parties, inviting a DJ. I find the developers' approach to their audience creative and full of attention. The final trigger is the quality of the product itself, and here, things are also excellent. It's very easy to start playing. The gameplay is intuitive and the game is highly engaging. Essentially, it's a strategy game with simplified mechanics that require attention, good planning, and analysis. This is not one of those cases where the game is just a reason for token generation and a quick profit for the developers. An important point, what we see now is essentially the game's alpha version, but even this is enjoyable to play. The developers assure us that we're only seeing 5% of the iceberg. If you read the game's documents on the official website, it becomes clear that many elements will step by step added to the game, enhancing gameplay quality and introducing new mechanics. Plans include the introduction of in-game NFTs, which will affect the gameplay, make it extremely diverse, and require truly smart strategies. But all of this is in the future. For now, it's simple. You don't need to buy anything. Just join, play at least few minutes a day, invite friends, and wait for the TGE. Sure, you can play longer, and believe me, you will. In my next videos, I'll share tips on game strategies and how to play with highest effectiveness. That's why I strongly recommend subscribing to the channel. To summarize this project, Clash of Coins is an engaging and captivating game developed by responsible individuals. It has strong partnerships and clear roadmap. Ignoring such a high-quality project with such evident facts and such an easy entry is simply foolish. Subscribe to the channel, and please use my referral link to register for the game. I create these videos purely out of enthusiasm and would greatly appreciate your support. Stay tuned for upcoming videos about game strategies, how to be effective, how to complete game quests properly, and info about updates on game developments. See you!